Pro UT191T True RMS IP65 waterproof, dustproof multimeter. Stay tuned. Just want to wish everybody a happy Easter, happy Passover, and all the best to everyone. I hope you're having a great weekend. What else do you get in the box? You get a terrific set of test leads. UNI-T has really stepped up the game as of late when it comes to providing high-end test leads, and the ones they're giving you with the 191T are no exception. Well shrouded and lots of strain relief. I'm really liking what I'm seeing. You also get this rather unusual looking thermocouple. This is a 3-prong style. Now this will fit in any multimeter that has that 3 input jack style layout. So it's not exclusive as a UNI-T Test Pro, but that being said, yeah, it is a little on the unusual side. Finally, get your UNI-T warranty card as well as the instruction manual, and it all comes in this really nice carrying case, which is well padded, well insulated, and it's going to help keep your meter in tip-top shape when it's on the road. Looking at the range selector switch, starting off in the low Z or low input impedance, 300 kilo ohm, followed by the standard off position. AC voltage, with or without low pass filter. Volts DC, up to 600 volts. Millivolts. Resistance, capacitance, diode, and continuity. Frequency mode. Temperature in either Celsius or Fahrenheit. Microamps, AC, DC. Milliamps, AC, DC. Finally, high current or amps in both AC or DC. It's worth noting that the 191T is a fairly hefty meter. It's quite substantial, and it feels quite solid, quite heavy in the hand. The red plastic molding is part of the overall body or chassis, so you cannot remove it. It is permanently attached. On the 20 amp range, a audible alarm will be sounded if you invoke 10 amps. If you flip the 191T over, we can see it does come with a nice metallic hanger, and you do have your probe holders on either side of the meter. The standing bail or tilt stand, nice and large, nice and wide, no worry about tipping over in this case. Really solid. You can see here, just absolutely no worries at all when it comes to moving that meter. And as well, here on the back, that's right, it does come with a flashlight. Fairly bright flashlight as well. Definitely going to help you out if you're in the dark probing around. On the back of the meter as well, you can see we have additional input protection safety labeling going on here. The TUV and the GS are both symbols synonymous with European style protection. Usually dictates a slightly better form of input protection than you would normally get. Now, one of the questions I've been asked numerous times, like whoa, so many times, is the question, how does the UT191 compare to the UT195? And that is a really good question. Yeah, it's a lot smaller than the 195. So there's a good, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches difference. The 195 is a tiny bit wider as well. And obviously the display on the 195 is quite a bit larger. Now in the UNI-T advertising or branding, they look identical. So when you do receive this meter, and if you're not aware of this differential in size, it's actually a little bit shocking. Whoa, yeah. But once you get over the initial shock, you realize that, you know what, this is still a really nice sized meter. But definitely size is a big part of the overall difference. Now you can see as well when the backlights are enabled, there is another difference. The 195, it's more subdued, not as bright, compared in contrast to the 191. Definitely brighter, but this is actually showing up a little more powerful, shall I say, than in person. But if I do compare the two, they're both relatively decent looking backlights. Now I would probably go with the 195 in terms of overall, how much I like it. It's just perfect. If you see one of these in person, it is just an absolutely gorgeous looking backlight display. Obviously the LCDs as well, the liquid crystal digits are bigger than the 191. They do both have the bar scale or the graphing scale, but generally speaking, one of the big differences is size, both physically and in terms of the display. Another difference between the 195 and 191 are the input jacks themselves. We can see on the 195 here we have a separate microamp and milliamp jack, whereas on the 191 that is shared with the voltage input. All of the new UNI-T style multimeters have that terrific selector switch. It does feel at first a little on the mushy side, but that is because of the weatherproofing. Don't forget these are IP65 rated, so dust and waterproof. And because of that, you definitely have a little more protection with that selector. Fantastic movement, easy control, and it hits the ranges with authority. I really like these selector switches. When we cold start and turn the system on, it takes about a second, and then you have all of these segments disappear and you are ready to get testing. Alrighty, to start things off, we're going to do a voltage comparison test with three gosh darn sexy looking UNI-Ts. We've got the UT89XT on the left, 195E in the middle, and the star of the show, the 191T on the far right. Starting off at just under 1 volt, 1.00, 1.00, and 1.00. Here we go. Off to the races, sitting at 7.2 volts, 7.35, 7.31, and 7.30. Moving it up, up, and away. Let's take it up to 9.1 volts, 9.27 for the XT, 9.23 for the 95E, and 9.24 for the 91T. Let's take it higher. Let's go up to a whopping 16.3 volts, 16.43 on the 89XT, 16.38 on the 95, and 0.40 for the star of the show. Okay, we're going to go even higher now, up to the max, 31.5 volts, 31.66 on the XT, 31.55, and 31.59 for the 191. Good stuff. So really close, really close. I don't think I could even call a winner. Now, as we can see, the XT does not have a bar graph, but they do all have that high voltage indicator. Now, on the 195, it is actually flashing, so it's not static, but they all have that same signifier. Now, I'm going to move the 89XT out of the picture, and we're going to just compare the scale of the 195 and the 191 and just see if one has a faster or better refresh rate. Okay, here we go. Let's watch that bar graph in terms of speed. And I'm cycling up and down from around 10 volts up to about 30. Now, I'd have to say they are pretty well neck and neck. I'm not seeing anything that looks out of the ordinary or one that's really incredibly faster than the other. No, they're pretty well spot on in terms of speed. Next up is milliamp mode. Now remember, the input is the same as the voltage input. You are sharing the same jack on the 191T. Okay, we're currently sitting at around 70 milliamps. Here we go. I'm going to take it up now to about 280 milliamps. So far, so good. 340, 360, 420 milliamps. No worries here. Now, once again, this has a 600 milliamp maximum range, but you know what? We're going to actually see if it can do better. Sitting at around 560 milliamps. No problems there. Let's go up to 620. Showing a 615 and 650 milliamps. Hey, look at that. We are 50 milliamps over range right now, and all is well. I'm not going to go any higher. I don't know exactly what sort of fuse rating they have inside this meter as of yet. I have not cracked it open yet. I'm going to wait to do that with you guys. But hey, 650 milliamps on a 600 milliamp max rating works for me. Checking out the DC accuracy on the 191, we can see it is pretty close, if not spot on. We should be looking at 250 millivolts, and we're showing around 249, 250. Looks good to me. Alrighty, now we're looking at 2.50 volts and looking good. Okay, next it's diode mode. Let's just see how well it can do at lighting up these little diodes, starting off with the green LED. And I should get my probes around the right way. And it is actually lighting it up. Very hard to see, I know, but we do not have a digital indicator. And same with the yellow, it is lit, but no forward voltage drop. Let's try the red. Same thing, the white, and the blue. So it successfully lit all of the LEDs. Unfortunately, it did not give us any readout on any of them. That's too bad. In terms of the diode output voltage, on the 191T, it is 3.2 volts. Output diode voltage on the 195 is 3.7. So about half a volt more power coming out of the 195 when you're testing your diodes. 191T has a really nice 60 millifarad, 60,000 microfarad capacitance range. In front of us now we have a 47,000 microfarad capacitor, and let's see just how fast the 191 can range it. Here we go. Alrighty, it's thinking we're in millifarad mode now. Hey, pretty darn fast, 42.72. So that was really mere seconds, a couple of seconds, and for a large cap, yeah, I'm happy. I am so happy. Resistance test, and let's start by testing out the leads. So put it in resistance mode. There we go. And let's see what we have in terms of resistance. So basically, no need to roll out the leads in this case. Very low resistance in the leads. Excellent. Take a look here with the Fluke demo board. Do a couple of quick resistance tests. Let's start off with a 22 mega ohm resistor. And that's nice and fast. Take another look now at a 0.5 ohm resistor. Hey, spot on. Continuity's next. These are the default probes. Here we go. Hey, not bad at all. Probably misses maybe 2 out of 10. Latched and loud. Looking good. Change of pace, I've got some gorgeous, heavenly, Bryman leads, gold tipped. Yeah, these are super sweet. Here we go. Wow, I mean, latched, loud. Ah, absolutely heavenly. Already, I'm over at my soldering station, and we are going to check out that temperature mode. Oh, let's check out that temperature. I have it in Fahrenheit mode right now. I have the paste soldering iron out. Here we go. Have it set to around 660 degrees. Let's see. It's getting there. Whoops. $640 or so. Let's stop it at around 640. Alrighty, let's try that with the UT89X, also in temperature mode. See how this one compares. Here we go. And indeed it does. Sitting around 635. And once again, if we compare that to the 191, almost spot on. 660, 661, 665 Fahrenheit. So definitely you can tell the 191T definitely is a better meter at reading temperature. Very fast, and Good stuff. To gain access to the battery and fuse compartment, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Phillips screws. Once those are removed, it simply plops off, and you are in. Right away you can see our milliamp fuse and the 9-volt battery housing. The only problem with this is you do not have access to the fuse, so you will have to take apart the rest of the meter to change the big one, and that's an additional 6 screws. Taking a look now on the inside, on the left we have the UT195E, and on the right we have the 191T. So initially you do see a difference in terms of the input protection. We start off with the bottom of the 191. We have the exact same input jacks solidly put in place. They are threaded in there with a nut and screw, and those guys are not going anywhere. In terms of voltage protection, there's basically 3 paths. We have a high impedance, a medium, and a low. And on the low impedance side, we are protected with 1 PTC. Let's take a look at the current shunt. On the 195, it is your sort of atypical looking shunt, as opposed to the 191, where you actually have some nice, it almost looks like a waveform going on here. Definitely more resistance, and it's a little bit thicker as well, so definitely a nicer current shunt on the 191. Right down here we have a onboard sensor, the U8 OBS, that is the temperature sensor. And also again on the current mode, we have a couple of nice big MOVs, metal oxide varistors. So in terms of input protection, yeah, it's looking really, really good. Right here we have one single diode. That is probably for reverse polarity input protection, in case you put the battery in the wrong way. Over at the top here we have the display driver, and this is a power supply chip here. U2 labeled as U2 on the PCB. Over here the U7 is another microprocessor, and that is, I believe, ARM-based 32K flash, and I believe 2 or 4K. And look at that diode clamping going on. Wow. Loving it. And something else nice to report is the fact that you do have those really nice brass threaded inserts, a total of 6 of them, when you want to open up the back of the chassis. Now it's just too bad that you have to open up the back to gain access to that HRC. Really would have been nice to have access to both fuses if the case requires. As well, you notice, generally speaking, you do have slightly better input protection on the 195. You only have 1 lonely PTC as opposed to 4 shrouded on the 195. But that being said, overall, I have to say I am impressed. For a $70 multimeter, you are getting a lot of robustness. Both of these meters are utilizing the same APO 11 amp style HRC fuse. The only difference being the placement. Here we have a nice horizontal at the bottom in between the input jacks on the 195, and on the 191 we are vertical, close to the side of the multimeter. Unfortunately on the 191 there is no shielding whatsoever. That's too bad. We do have the one circuit board here that is just feeding the LED flashlight, and that's about all that's going on this side. Don't forget, these are IP65 rated. That is weather protection, dustproof, waterproof, what have you. Now if you take a look deep inside the ridges, you can see there is a rubber gasket, and it looks like it is enveloping the entire circumference of the meter. All in all, some really nice input protection on the 191T. Not quite as robust as the 195, but you're definitely getting input protection. Okay, I'm going to put this all back together and come back with my closing thoughts. Final thoughts on the UT191T Pro from UNI-T. Wow, wow, and wow. This is one terrific multimeter. Excellent ranges, excellent build quality, really, really good ergonomics, feels great in the hand, IP65 goodness, True RMS. I can go on and on. In a nutshell, if you're in the market for a higher end meter that doesn't break the bank, the UT191T Pro should be on your short list. The UT191T is getting a solid 4 out of 5 stars. Thanks for watching this review, everybody. Appreciate the comments, the feedback. Hope you're enjoying this UNI-T review week. I'm definitely having fun bringing it to you. Don't forget, Jerry from Mr. Tool Store will be in the live chat on Sunday, April 28th. Mark that date on your calendars. Live chat's going to start at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and we definitely hope to see you there. Till the next time, keep on testing.